Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called The Fraud Tsunami. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, like, comment, and follow us. Also, I'd like to tell you about a service called HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's a great service that allows you to purchase live phone calls from your favorite celebrities, so check them out. It's something you can purchase for yourself or as a gift for somebody you care about. You can purchase live calls from more than 100 different celebrities. A live 15-second call is $19.95, and a live 30-second call is $29.95. So give it a try for yourself or as a gift for somebody on a special occasion. HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. Everyone watching the news sees all the problems out there in the economy and the job market, but what's not so obvious, unless you're really paying attention, is the explosion in frauds and scams everywhere designed to separate people and companies from what little money they have left. We believe there are going to be two major factors that will be necessary for the economy and the financial health of individuals to improve. Everyone knows how important finding a job and working hard really is for individual people and the country as a whole. But nobody out there is really talking about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And I'm talking about the tsunami of consumer fraud out there that is constantly attacking individuals and companies. We're hearing about people who've worked hard all their lives, 60-hour work weeks, year after year, decade after decade, trying to save every dollar they can, only to one day be ripped off by someone they started dating or someone new they started doing business with, only to have them steal or scam all their retirement money. This fraud phenomena is exploding, and it's usually just treated as an isolated incident when in reality, the country is being overwhelmed by it. We believe that the only way to really recover or prosper in this economy is not just to work hard, but you have to maintain a perpetual state of vigilance for ongoing attempts to get ripped off. We're going to try and help you by telling you about what's really going on out there at the corporate level and at the consumer level so that you can watch for it and protect yourself and your assets against it. First, let's start out with all the consumer fraud that's going on, and there is a lot, and it is getting diabolically ingenious. We have never seen so much consumer and individual fraud as we see now. We believe that all the economic problems out there hitting everyday people in the job market and in the economy, these are like rocket fuel for con men, con women, and criminals who see all the desperation out there and who are using it to come up with scams that are more clever than ever before. So here are some of the scams that we're seeing that are growing in pervasiveness. First, let's start out with the dating sites. Almost all of the online dating sites are now overrun with fake ads showing stunning-looking single people or people pretending to be single that are looking for somebody to date. Or they're showing countless real people who are interested in dating someone who, quote unquote, must have a job and a car. Now, when you see that phrase in someone's ad, a normal person would think that they're just looking for somebody financially responsible, but that's really not what's going on. What's really happening is that some con people are using that qualifying phrase, meaning must have a job and a car, to filter for people who have enough for them to steal. Now, if you have a job, a car, and a home, then that will make you a much richer target for somebody to try and scam. That means you probably also have money in the bank, a pension, some stocks, and other assets that they can also try and scam out of you. So remember, when you see that phrase, that gateway filtering phrase, must have a job and a car and a home, run in the opposite direction. Beware of singles ads showing younger people willing to date older people. because they claim they're being open-minded. Believe me, there is no sudden glut of beautiful young people who want to date people 3 times their age for some inexplicable reason or because of some newfound open-mindedness or progressiveness. Nonsense. That's not what's going on at all. What's really happening is that they know that older people are more vulnerable targets and they're easily outsmarted and scammed in countless ways. So that's why they prefer to date senior citizens. Keep that in mind when some stunning 25-year-old wants to meet you for some incredibly unique reason. Now, if you go on YouTube, you'll see countless videos of people who met somebody online and they got scammed out of their money or their home or their pension or their bank account. These videos and these stories are everywhere. You can Google them, you can YouTube them. It's stunning. Our advice to you is to date people similar to you. That means dating someone in your city, in your age range, and in your social economic group. Someone with a similar educational background, someone who you can introduce to your family and friends. Stay away from dating foreigners living in other countries because statistically speaking, that never works. I'm not just saying almost never, I'm saying like 99.99% of the time, it doesn't work. They're just fishing for a green card. No matter how many times they tell you how special you are, or charming, or lovable, or good in bed, or any of that, trust me, they're fishing for a green card. If you meet someone, make sure to introduce them to your family and friends to get their opinion. 9 times out of 10, when your family dislikes your new date, then there's a good reason for that. You should listen to them. Another category of scam that is really pervasive are phone scams because they've gone to a whole new level. People are getting fake calls from the IRS, fake calls from somebody pretending to be your credit card company, fake calls from someone pretending to be your bank, calls from someone pretending to be a court officer demanding that you pay a fine over the phone with your credit card. The answer to all of these scams is to never do business or any transactions with somebody who calls you. You should always be the one making the call to a number you know is genuine before you do any business with anybody. The next problem is with identity theft, home title theft, car title theft, banking fraud. These problems are now exploding because people are not checking their credit reports regularly. If you did, then you could spot those scams on your credit report before too much time has passed by. The next huge problem is one that's affecting business. We're seeing an explosion of scams designed to try and steal your money with fake invoices, fake charity solicitations, fake email phishing scams designed to put malware on a company computer so they can copy and steal sensitive banking information, accounting information, and personnel information. Why personnel information? So they can open up fake credit cards in the names of your company employees. Next, we have the mother of all scams, and that's the ransomware scam. This is where the scammer sends your company an email with an attachment that some employee will inevitably open because they just weren't thinking at the moment. When they did, it loads malware onto your computers, and this malware encrypts all the data on your company machines and makes it inaccessible to you. Now, after you turn on your computer one day, it's completely frozen and it's inaccessible. There's a message on the home screen which says, if you don't send them $5,000 via Bitcoin in the next 72 hours, then all your data will be permanently erased. The company owner then calls the police or the FBI, but there's very little, if anything, they can do. Why? Well, it's a resource problem. There are millions of these scams being perpetrated every week. And the FBI and the local police don't have the resources and the manpower to go after somebody who's hiding in Bulgaria, and running this ransomware scam on you. Now, most people just pay the ransomware to get back access to their computers because the cost of trying to rebuild their data or get new computers is just too expensive. The problem has been affecting city administrations, hospitals, and companies all across the US, and there appears to be no easy solution in sight. Another problem that's hitting the unemployed really hard is the explosion in fake job postings online and elsewhere. In many instances, these aren't really job postings, but rather scams that look like job postings, and they're designed to get your personal information or your credit card or social security numbers so they can supposedly conduct a background check on you to qualify your ability to work for them. Well, you can relax. There is no job, and you'll never work for them. They simply want to open up cards or get loans in your name. If that happens, just tell them that if some prospective employer contacts you and says they need your information to do a background check, tell them, well, you can discuss that with them once you have their interview, once you have an interview with them at their company headquarters. That usually shuts that one down pretty quickly. Another problem we're seeing with major and small grocery store chains is deliberate pricing deception at the cash registers when you're ringing up your food order. The pricing discrepancies always appear in the company's favor. You almost never pay less for an item than you should. It's always an overpricing problem, and if you don't catch it at the register, you are out of luck. We estimate that some major stores and grocery chains are making millions of dollars, extra dollars a week because of these accidental pricing problems. So be vigilant and be careful out there because it's going to get worse before it gets better. Thank you for watching, and we will talk to you soon.